All right, welcome out to Three Martini Solution. This is actually our eighth episode of the regular Three Martini Solution podcast. We're not counting what the 5 episodes we did for Under the Banner of Heaven. I put those as like special episodes. It's very important
Indeed, they
distinction.
were.
They were
Yeah,
special.
agreed. Yeah.
But now we're back to the regular serious business of what what we started here.
I feel like the most special part of that little like mini series that we did was the fact that I'm now a regular. So I mean, like that.
Oh, are you?
Maybe you'd like to introduce yourself for those who don't recognize you without a beard.
Oh.
I'm still Jessica's husband.
I think we should take an audience vote.
Was that in doubt?
Does Kyle bring out the best of me or does he not?
I think it looks great, Kyle.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you.
Well, we are in a heat wave, so I'll allow it.
Okay.
It's very hot, and I hate turning on the air conditioning because I'm super cheap.
That could be a whole podcast in and of itself. He thinks setting it to 82 is a reasonable degree. Like 80,
when we're gone.
82?
When we're gone. Like you have the different times, like when you leave, when you come back, it drops down and stuff like that. I just have not changed it for the fact that it's summertime and we never leave the house now. So
well, some of us do.
yeah, people with real jobs have fun.
Okay.
We'll deal with that.
So Kyle, like, I have a question. When you are home during the day, what is it set to?
81.
Right.
And overnight, what is it set to?
Like 76.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you, Casey.
Yeah, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out though that during the winter, the heat is set at 60. So like during the night, it will drop down into the upper 50s, but like I'm adaptable.
It says long plates never have any house guests.
The first thing that I'm going to be doing, by the way, when we get there, is putting the thermostat at a reasonable temperature.
I'll leave Post-its to the thermostat for you, Ryan.
Yeah, you can blame it on me.
You can easily find it.
Okay. Well, so how have you all been since we last talked? Anything new? Anything interesting? Anything exciting? Earth-shattering?
I mean, we switched into Stranger Things. Kyle got a new computer. It was his birthday.
I'm going to move the camera just a little bit because I think it is amazing.
That's what's good for the people listening on audio. They'll love this part.
Oh my gosh.
It's got 5 multicolor fans that rotate through the color spectrum as it continues. So
kind of like
I get
Casey's
to play
background.
all of my... Yeah, it is essentially Casey's background as a computer.
So Kyle, I also have computers that do certain things, and those pull a lot of power.
Yeah.
So interesting that you don't want to cool your house, but you'll run your computer. But we all have priorities. I get it.
Ding, ding,
I do both.
I'm in my basement. My basement right now is probably 70 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
It's a very cool basement.
Basements are nice.
Nail on the head, Casey. Nail on the head.
Well, my priorities are both being cool and running my computer. So I understand.
Must be nice to be able to prioritize multiple things. I cannot do that.
I've been working on it for years.
All right, folks. So, it was interesting coming out of the Under the Banner of Heaven series, thinking about some stuff. I don't know about you guys. Did you guys have a little bit of a hangover from it a little bit? Literal and figuratively?
Yes. I coped with locking right into Stranger Things. So that's been my coping mechanism for sure. It's not disappointing.
Yeah, it's interesting to have I think I'm similar. Like once I stopped watching a series that I thought was really interesting, Yeah, you're always then looking like, ooh, what's the next thing that I can really get into? And it's hard.
I mean,
yeah, Stranger Things is good.
Yeah, not to derail it, but before Stranger Things, I did lock into the Keep Sweet, which Netflix.
Keep Sweet?
Keep
Oh,
Sweet?
yeah, I haven't even. Are you guys not aware of Keep Sweet?
No.
Pray and Obey, the new Netflix documentary that very conveniently came out right after Under the Banner of Heaven about the fundamentalist. Thank you for that correction. FLDS. I do better with acronyms. It's all about like.
Okay.
Yeah, it's intense.
So it's
Prepare
a documentary
yourself.
about the fundamentalist Mormons.
And what's his name? Jeff.
Jeff.
You know, the
Warren Jeffs.
Warren Jeffs.
Yes. And it's only 4 episodes, so it goes fairly quickly. But it's
the title's not unironic at all.
No, Netflix and their timing.
Well, now that we have now that I have a context for it, I think I know, because my after Under the Banner of Heaven, I think I'd alluded to it or said it many times that I was going to be doing the book. And in the book, they mentioned that in the FLDS, one of their leaders had a saying that all the women should keep sweet, right?
Oh.
Well, specifically the young girls.
Right.
Keep sweet means shut your mouth and don't ask any questions.
Right.
And just, say sweet.
How do you get them to do that? I mean, is there a how-to manual?
You don't.
I was unaware. I mean, we're talking about 25 plus wives. I mean, it's really intense. And it goes through like the FBI raid. And I don't know if you guys remember when they CPS got involved and brought all the children out, and then Oprah went in and did a whole episode.
Oh, I don't remember Oprah
Meeting with the FDLS and like how it was they were infringing, and then they found the secret room in the temple, and then they're like, oh, never mind. There's some sinister things going on, but it was at that when I finished that series right after Banner of Heaven, had my fill.
Yeah,
it was such a beautiful segue into Stranger Things, which I was like, I wish this was real life. Like, I wish I was dealing more with the upside down. Like, if I had to pick, I pick the upside down.
The upside down.
I thought you were going to say you were going to go.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say that you were going to go to a testimony meeting this Sunday or something.
Well, don't tempt me. I will certainly say what my testament now, but did not mean to derail us. But that's the aftermath since I've met with you guys last of have been working through it.
That's impressive. I did not even know about that.
Really bearing our ancestry, heritage, whatever bombs were dropped on me last.
Did you look into that afterwards?
Don't exist. No, I'm not. Don't think I'm investigating.
She's alone now, Ryan. She's disavowed all.
Ryan, she just put it in a box and put it on her shelf.
Oh yeah, just put it on her shelf, Jessica.
There is a Dr. Hatch in Stranger Things, and I'm like, this is what I'll latch on to. The weird Dr. Hatch in Stranger Things, that's an easier
that's your guy.
Connection for me.
Right. Well, how about you, Casey? What was your post Under the Banner of Heaven entertainment?
Well, just last weekend I went and saw the new Top Gun movie, Maverick.
Ooh.
So I've not moved on into a new television. I'm not a big television watcher anyway, usually, but I did go see. Well, so on Friday night I watched the old 1986 Top Gun, and then on Saturday morning for a matinee watched the Maverick. Well, it wasn't Saturday morning; it was like noon or whatever. But anyway, it was a matinee.
You got to be specific. Be specific. Don't mislead people. Don't mislead people.
I can't remember.
Did you get popcorn?
No.
Oh.
Was the AC on in the theater?
Absolutely.
So was it worth watching? Was it, or no, let me rephrase that. Was it worth going to the theater to watch?
Oh, sure. First of all, if you've seen the first one, you've seen probably 20 to 30% of the second one, footage wise. You've seen 90% of the second one, plot wise, but that's okay because it's like, this is what we do. We were an action rom com. And I'm like, thank you very much. That's all we wanted here. So it's sort of the same, but it's predictable and in all the right ways. And so you're like, oh, here we go. Tom Cruise is running again. So 'cause he likes to run in his movies, and but I thought it was fine because the seeing it in the theater with all of the dog fights that take place with the airplanes, that's fun. So that's the kind of thing that you want to see on the big screen with, like, especially the sound too. You want the big speakers that are kind of shaking you in your seat. So for me, it was very worth it. It's very popcorn film. If you ask me what the plot is, I'd be like, I really can't remember too much other than the same as the first one. But I don't expect much out of it.
Like the dog fighting and stuff.
Well, I mean, we're talking
right,
about
but that's because in 1986 they were using, I'm not sure what they were using, like paper
Right, but
airplanes.
like,
yeah.
Before we just rewatched it too, I had big plans of doing the same thing you did, and it fell right apart.
With our 10 and 7-year-olds, I was like, sure, let's watch the old Top Gun. So many innuendos. They're like, they're like,
I love being rock hard.
What's a hard on? I was like, that means you're super excited. What are we doing here? What are we doing? We did not think through this shit. Obviously, you're not taking him with a new movie.
It was a PG movie, not even PG-13. I definitely watched it when I was either right before double digits or as soon as I turned double digits. Like, it was, but like I remember the action scenes being really good, and then I rewatched it and I was like, oh, they're not. No. They're just like flying by each other a lot. Right. And then I heard the new one is like, oh, it's what you remember the first one being. Like, you remember cool action scenes, and now they actually have them in there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Well, these two boys know how I feel about Tom Cruise.
Sexy motherfucker.
No.
He is though.
No.
He's not.
From previous podcast, he's a monster. I support nothing that is Tom Cruise.
I support everything Tom Cruise.
Then you'll love the introduction to the show, because he introduces the show, but he doesn't have all of the post-production processing. So his tooth work that he's had done makes him sound a little funny. His hair is not as pretty, and his face is definitely not digitally smooth. So you would enjoy that. There would be some good schadenfreude for you.
Oh, Scientology doing him wrong. Who's laughing out, Tom?
So
which the T for that is they asked. So the big question is the love interest is Jennifer Connelly, right? Instead of Kelly McGillis. And so when they asked Kelly McGillis why she isn't in the second movie, she's like, because I look my age, I'm old and fat.
And she looked old in the original. Yeah, like she looked too old for him in the original. Or that he just has a baby face. I mean,
she definitely did not look as hot as I thought she looked. Like, again, when I was like 10 or 12, I remember her being. But like, she's not Scarlett Johansson or Angelina Jolie in their prime. I'm like, she's not that.
Opposite reaction.
Really?
When I rewatched it, I was like, oh, she's gorgeous. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. When I was younger, I was like, she's way too old for him, mainly because he's a big ass fucking baby. But like watching it the second time around, I was like, she's absolutely drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was funny in the first one. When she's teaching, like one of the days when she's like when she introduces herself, she walks in. I'm like, yeah, I am sure that an Air Force instructor is going to wear red lipstick like that and wear pantyhose with like the line at the back, like, and they have this long. I'm like, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure that's exactly what the instructors look like and dress like. Yeah. Because walking into a room full of 18, 19, 20-year-old men, that's a wise decision. So
right, and going to the local pub that they all head to after the first day of orientation, I'm sure, right? Yeah.
You guys keep talking about movies. I have to replay something real quick, but I'm going to still be recording, so keep going.
All right.
FYI, I'm going to let you guys go all on your own. Like, I want you to be big boys and girls.
I'm terrified. I'm leaving now. I didn't sign up for this, Ryan.
Dead silence, guys. Let's not do anything.
There's going to be no
Let's literally
supervision.
look like we're frozen.
There's going to be no supervision. So get it together, folks. I'll be right back.
Yikesy. Where do we go from? Tom Cruise.
Well, I thought it was interesting, Kyle. You talked about how you saw it before you were double digits, but you're freaking out about your kids seeing it.
Well, no, I wasn't. I am still definitely okay with Miles seeing it. Like, again,
How old is Miles?
10.
Because it's a segue to have a bigger conversation with him, Kyle. Like,
No, because he doesn't know. Like,
yes, he does.
I'll tell you how I know he doesn't know this. I told you this story. He saw a thing on TikTok or YouTube, or one of the things that I should definitely monitor more of, but I don't. And it was a funny thing. So he's like, "Oh, Dad, watch this. It's funny." So it's narrated a little bit, and it's like a dad, and he has 3 sons. He's like, "I'm going to give you each a quarter. You're going to go to the fair. If any of you bring your quarter back after you spend a day at the fair, I'll give you an even bigger reward than the 25 cents. So he gives a quarter to each of his 3 kids, and they go off, and they're not supposed to spend their quarter. So he goes, and the first one, then a little thing pops up that says, "Free BJ's, 25 cents. And then the kid goes and does that. And then it comes up again. It's like the second son, so free BJ's, 25 cents. And then they go back to their dad, and the first son is like, "Oh yeah, I don't have my quarter. I got some amazing popcorn." And the second son's like, "Oh yeah, they had really good cotton candy. So I spent my quarter on the cotton candy too." And the third son comes up and goes, "I've got 3 quarters now."
That's such an awful joke.
And
Such an awful joke.
And Miles, the punchline to him was, "Oh, the youngest son ran the carnival booth." He had no idea what the carnival booth was, but he understood that the youngest son tricked. I was like, "Oh,
You're making me regret every parenting and family decision we've made in our life right now.
yeah." There's a lot of things that we should. But,
Jesus.
so it goes right over their head. It's like watching Scooby Doo, and you go back and watch Scooby Doo, and you're like, "Oh shit, they're high as fuck," and they all want to.
Door's open behind you.
What?
That's inside.
Why
That
did they
I haven't heard before. Right on cue.
Speaking
Right
of
on
great
cue.
parenting
I was
moves.
like, wow.
Good Lord. Hide your face, you precious little baby. Oh my gosh.
Thanks for that heads up.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I love all the
When you were
visual
talking, all of a sudden it
references.
started to open, and I was like, "I'll bet that's a child back there." Oh, yep. The Spidey sense was working.
I love all the visual references in this episode. People who are listening to it just audio only are going to love it.
I
Rick,
said,
do you
"Door
have an
open
audio
behind
only
you." That's
somewhere?
pretty clear.
I didn't hear what anybody said.
I said, "Door open behind you." That's pretty clear what's going on.
And I asked, where is it? Like, I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I could not find this as a podcast on
Audio
yeah.
only.
Oh, well, if you go to 3martinisolution.com, right there on the front page is a link to the audio only versions of the podcast.
Oh, perfect. Thank
And
you for that.
a link to the latest YouTube videos of any 3 Martini Solution produced video.
So get
So
your
glad
shit
you
together,
asked.
Kyle. Yeah.
I'm just trying to set them up, throwing up softballs.
Like and subscribe today. 4 out of 5 doctors think that you get good luck when you do.
Oh goodness.
Well, this weekend, we went and saw the new Jurassic Park movie.
Oh.
And it was kind of out of the blue, last minute thing, like literally Sunday night, probably about 45 minutes before it started. We're like, Emily, of all people, was just like, we should go to the movies. I'm like, all right. And so we went and saw that, which has throwback people because it takes the people from kind of the original trilogy of movies and interplays with them. And if you want to see it, see it. I don't have much to say
Did you
about
take
it.
your kids to it, or just you two?
No, all of us, the whole family went.
Did you go to the theater the first time you ever watched the original Jurassic Park? Like, can you compare and contrast both of those initial experience? Do you think your boys walked out of it with like a similar experience you had with the first Jurassic Park?
No.
Or was there a lot of background you needed?
No. So the first one we saw, actually, our sister Trisha and I went to it. That was the first. That's how I saw the first one. We went to it in the theater. So, no, I was a little bit older when the first one came out, so it was very, very scary. It was surprisingly scary. You think like a dinosaur movie or whatever wouldn't be that scary, but they ramped it up. And in this one too, they ramped up the scariness part of it, and I think the kids were like a little spooked out. But there's so much CGI and stuff the kids see these days. I don't think they're impressed like we were, about 30 years ago when the other one came out. So, but it was good. It was fun.
Yeah, like for me, the biggest like impressive movie I saw was Toy Story. It was like, oh shit, we're in a new phase of animation and CGI. It was really Toy Story that blew me away. But I'm the baby of this group, you guys. I don't know if you can tell by my beautiful young face, but definitely the youngest here.
My biggest thing about Jurassic Park, I'm very excited to see the new one. But that was the first like big kid book I read. Like was not a big reader, still not a big reader. I listen to audiobooks now, but like it was the first book combo, like movie combo that I did where like I'd always heard people say like the book's better than the movie. But the opening like sequence in the Jurassic Park book is bananas. It is about a dinosaur that climbs into a house in LA. It's a nursery, climbs into a crib and eats a baby alive.
Really?
And then it flashes into the island. Like I was like, what is happening here? Like,
oh, wow.
I was blown away when people were like, oh yeah, book's better than the movie. And then I read that and I was like, oh my goodness, that is
way more intense.
Yeah, it was way more intense than the movie. But the visuals.
I mean, yeah, you could read that, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can imagine it though. Yeah. So
sure.
I've got a very vivid imagination.
Yeah, he does.
So it's interesting because all those Michael Crichton movies like that was made of, they had I think maybe after Jurassic, I don't remember. I know there was the Andromeda Strain that came out. I think it was a Michael Crichton book. That came out beforehand. But there were some of those Michael Crichton books that came out, or movies that came out based off of some of his books maybe after Jurassic Park, which were garbage. They were really bad movies. And I was like, oh, this is like Stephen King, where like the books are really good and then they release these crappy movies. But no, I think the franchise of Jurassic Park has lived up to whatever the book was and then some, probably, right?
Well, I did ask Kyle, I was like, and this is it, right? Chris Pratt can't get his bankroll anymore out of this series. Like, how long can you keep on with it? So do you feel like it all concluded in this final movie, or is there another one to come?
Because you guys haven't seen it, I don't want to like spoil anything or whatnot, but it feels like that the series is over.
At least you don't think they're going to make that turn like they did in like Fast and Furious and go from like actual car movies to now like Chris Pratt's riding on a dinosaur, and now it's Jurassic Park 7, Tooth to Control. Like, that's what I want. I want some sort of human.
Well, they did introduce Vin Diesel at the very end of this one, and he drove away with a dinosaur, a T-Rex.
Perfect.
Like, I could tell you that.
I'm definitely going to go see it. Love me some Vin Diesel.
Yeah, so there might be like a team up, like Fast and the Furious Jurassic Park. It's going to be awesome.
Mashup?
Yeah. No, I'm investing. I'm totally investing in it. It's great.
Please tell me he didn't do the family speech with dinosaurs.
Yeah, no, he did. What else would he do?
Family. Okay.
Family.
They rob a bank with a velociraptor. but it's to save the world.
Right.
They replaced The Rock with a velociraptor.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
So
goodness.
anyway, you know, the one of the funny things is when we were sitting in the movie theater, our kids hated the trailers. They're like, just get to the movie already. And I'm like, the trailers are the best part. Now
Were
I
there
know I'm
good
not their father.
trailers? What trailers were there? No, all I want to hear about is now the trailers.
Well, one of them was for Dwayne The Rock Johnson's new movie, whatever it's
Tooth
called.
Fairy 4?
Tooth Fairy 4. It looks awesome. He got he's
Oh,
much harder in
gonna
this
be.
one. It's pretty awesome.
What is his new movie?
Yeah.
Is it a sequel to something?
No, it's an all new thing. I think it's like a DC based, maybe comic book movie.
Oh, Black Adam.
Okay. Yep. That sounds right.
That only tells me Kyle has far too much free time on
Oh,
his hands.
and
that you're able to
That's the only thing that tells me that.
hold on.
well, and then there's
I
the
remember there
new.
used to be when HDTV was like a newer thing, like first coming on. One of the channels that Mark Cuban owned was like HDTV or HDNet, and they had just trailers.
Oh yeah.
So it was new movie trailers and old movie trailers and upcoming, but it was like that's it for like 3 or 4 hour block was just movie trailer after movie trailer. It was awesome. Like I loved watching it.
Yeah. Did you get any more information, Casey? You looked very studious.
It is indeed Black Adam, and he's a resurrected Egyptian. You have to decide if he's a hero or not a hero or villain. Yeah. No. Sounds like he's a lawyer.
You don't know you don't know who Black Adam is?
Well,
If Sandra Bullock's not in it, I'm not interested.
Well, then there's
the
new Jordan Peele movie that's going to come out. I think maybe this weekend. Nope.
Nothing.
I think
Which one?
I think it's called Nope. N-O-P-E. I'm incapable of finding.
What was his last one? Us. Oh, that was creepy as shit.
No. Oh no. Okay.
Are you saying it wasn't creepy as shit, Ryan?
I am saying things. Yeah, it's Nope, and it's coming out soon. If according to IMDb, it is coming soon. So I was spot on. Spot on.
Can we talk about like somewhat connected the cost of going to movies nowadays?
Oh, it's outrageous.
It is astronomical. Like to literally get a family of 4 tickets or even just 2 and a drink and popcorn. I mean, it could be your entertainment budget.
It's $100 for a family of 4 to go to the movies.
Easy.
I know this
and
for a fact.
It's $100 for me and Jessica.
Yeah.
We go we have a Alamo Draft House movie theater, so like they've got really good beer, full restaurant. Like so, you go in there and you're ordering 2 or 3 beers and food. I mean, like it's like the restaurant and movie combo in one, but it's super expensive.
Yeah.
Which is why my kids don't get to go see movies.
Well,
or Kyle legally downloads them.
Whoa, okay. This goes out. Whoa.
I assume that.
That's hearsay.
No admitting to federal crimes on the podcast, Jessica. Rule number 1. No admitting to federal crimes on the podcast.
Rule number 1.
That's actually rule number 1 and 2.
There's plenty of evidence of me paying ridiculous amounts of money to purchase movies. The last one I purchased for the boys was Bad Guys.
Oh yeah.
Which is a Disney movie about bad guys. And so I paid $30 because like $25 to rent it or $30 to buy it. For $5 extra, sure, let's buy it. The kids aren't into the movie 40 minutes before they're asking me for
a different movie. Like, man, can we get something else here? This is trash.
Okay. Never again.
See, that's why you take them to the movies, because then they can't leave.
Yes. No.
They're committed.
Well, the thing is, it would have cost me just as much, if not more. And now we own that movie at least, but they also could care less about it. So,
Right. So you
certainly
own a
fail.
movie that they're not going to watch more than 40 minutes of.
Right.
It's a really good movie, all right? You should watch it 3 or 4 times. When you're here, Ryan, I want you to watch it while you're here.
You're committed. You're committed to at least 2 viewings.
You can do whatever you want with the AC unit as long as you watch that goddamn movie.
2. Twice.
Twice.
You can watch it again in the morning. That's fine.
Oh my gosh. Well, so Jessica knows this story, but when we were kids living in a small town, New Mexico, there was a deal where 7-Eleven had discount Saturday movie tickets. And so if you spent so much money at 7-Eleven, they would give you one of these coupons, and then you got to go to the movies on Saturday. And so we would get these, and during the summer, every Saturday, me and my older sister Trisha and our neighbors Aaron and Joey, we would go to the movies. And this was a time where you wouldn't just go pay to go see a movie. You would go to pay to go to the movie theater. And so you could go and just be there all day and watch movies back to back to back. And there was only one screen. So you're watching whatever they have on there. But we would sit there and watch Popeye 3 times on a Saturday. Yep. and the concessions weren't, crazy like they are now, but yeah, we used to go to the movies all the time. It was awesome.
It's like Quentin Tarantino's double feature. That was one of me and Kyle's first dates. So
Planet Terror and Death Proof. Great movies.
Yes. But back-to-back movies was kind of awesome.
Now you have to pay. Well, now you should.
Were supposed to pay
now you
then,
should pay. I pay because I don't like committing crime.
Me either, Kyle.
I hate crime also.
As he wears a Raider shirt. I don't know. Is that too hard of a...
Wow, that's super. I don't know. Okay. I don't even know what that connection is. What
I apologize.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
If you call Raiders fan criminals, they say, thank you. That's what I was angling for. That's why I'm wearing Raiders outfit.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So I don't know if everybody got to share what they wanted to share, but we're moving on. So
okay. That's a good call.
Yeah, good call. There's a couple things that I threw out there. Did anybody have any thoughts on these things? Would anybody like to introduce what these things are? Does anybody remember what these things are?
Not me. I'm coming at you.
I'm definitely not looking at my phone right now to remember what they are.
Please,
but I remember.
Please, I'm going to talk here for a few seconds while people do things.
Do it.
Well, I already mentioned one of them, right?
Oh,
sure you did.
What's the ideal night out? I mentioned that earlier.
Was that that was
since you recorded, you can prove it.
That was foreshadowing. He was foreshadowing for us.
Dun dun dun. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's couple things, and you can pick either one. One of them is what is the perfect night out, and or something you have to do during the summer. These are the topics.
Ooh.
Casey had mentioned that part of his favorite night out involves mood lighting.
And the ability to change the lighting on a whim.
And the ability to change.
If you like, we can cycle through again.
Yeah, I did. I underestimated it. I really did.
What is the best mood lighting though for the evenings, Casey?
Well, you want something, you can't have any lighting too harsh.
Right.
You want everyone to be well lit and soft light so that they are presented at their best.
Are you sure you want everybody well lit? I, I think having everybody well lit runs counterintuitive to a good night
Well,
out.
you said an ideal night out. If it's an ideal night out, you only want people who are worth being well lit.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
So
No truer words have been spoken.
So you want to surround yourself with non-ugly people.
well, just people that can handle being softly lit, right? You know.
Exactly. That know what they're getting into, can handle their own. I mean, the only thing I'd add
Are
to
we
it,
still talking about lighting?
no, your perfect night out. For me, the perfect night out is an established DD. That's a perfect night. Like somebody who's in charge of me. You know what I mean? Like I have a point person.
So you're talking about a
monitoring
designated
this.
driver, not a
Yes.
Dungeons and Dragons night of fun.
See, I was
Right.
going to go the other way. I was like, oh,
Thank
sweet. We could have our D&D crews meet up.
Thank you for clarifying. It's that.
What's
So
that?
your perfect night out involves getting blackout drunk?
Yeah.
No, just somebody that I know like gats me. You know what I mean?
I thought you were really into the old Stranger Things thing, the Hellfire D&D club thing.
Well, that's not a perfect night out. That sounds super scary. I mean, I'll take that over Under the Banner of Heaven, or keep sweet any day of the week.
All right.
But
So if we're putting together the perfect night out, we need decent looking people who could be softly lit, alcohol, except for one person. All right.
you have to have a responsible person out with you on a night out. Like that's, and a responsible person in the sense that they're not always the responsible person. Like I've gone out and I've been the DD and responsible. I mean, I'm usually pregnant, or I've been twice.
And not fun to take out anywhere.
I mean,
so that's the.
I'm eating lots of food and like muttering angrily to myself the entire time. But nonetheless, you still have to have an established person. That's your safety net.
That's what Uber's
How
for
do
now.
you go?
Uber.
No, not for ladies. Not for ladies. I love how I grew up in a generation of like, don't talk to strangers, don't get into anyone's car. Oh, you drank too much? Call up this number of a stranger. He'll come pick you up and drive you home. That's a Dateline special, guys. I'm waiting for it to happen. It's going to be a whole series. It's like that makes me nervous. Nope. If you have a DD and doesn't want to drive like to like downtown or whatever, great. But I feel very uncomfortable being intoxicated, getting into an Uber.
I can't wait until we're like old in the nursing home and there's going to be a Dateline thing way back in the 2020s.
I mean, I'm 40, so I'm sure they're not targeting me, but I'm still irresistible for some, I'm sure.
All right.
Your guys' laughter.
So what we know.
Okay, thank you. You don't. But you're home with the children. I can't rely on you.
So you're going out where leaving Kyle home with the kids. So your idea
it's a night out.
Is,
like we've already spent all day together. We don't.
My night out is not with Kyle. I thought that was already predetermined. Like no. And same with him. Like it's that is not a together thing. Like if we're having a night out, that's enjoy your time, sir. Live it up. Don't call me for a ride. Oh, I hope. I mean, I'm not so worried about him going home in an Uber. Like he's not as desirable as me.
What? Why not?
Wow.
With his new haircut and his trimmed beard?
Maybe now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Maybe now with that.
That's why Jessica doesn't like it.
Yeah, because I have the best interest at heart. Yep.
She's trying to save the marriage. You can't look that good, Kyle.
Too good.
Wow.
I look too good. All right. So, okay. So if we're no significant others, a designated driver who's responsible, I would throw in the caveat, but not too responsible. Like you don't want a buzzkill designated driver.
Yeah. And oftentimes, like I don't even necessarily want the designated driver there. I just want the designated driver to be like on call or know like, hey, at X time, you're going to make your way over to here, or I'll come pick you up at this time. If you're downtown, like you can walk around from here to here to here, but we'll be at this bar at closing time. Come pick us up then.
Oh, so there's been a couple times when I've been the designated driver and been in the bar and they're like, you know, a group of people like went up to the bar to get drinks and they're like, oh, I'm like, I'll have a Coke. I'm the designated driver. And the bar doesn't charge designated drivers for their drinks. Like if you go to a bar that's charging designated drivers for their drinks, they should be shut down by the health department. But that I like what Kyle's saying here, because maybe there could be like a side business, like in a downtown area, like a designated driver hangout.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah?
That's where we're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Where they play Dungeons and Dragons. They show movies and you get free Cokes.
Okay, so I don't want to be your designated driver, Kyle. I want to be Jessica's because I'm a hype man designated driver. I'm like, yeah, you should have that other drink. If you're like me, buy you two. Yeah. And by the way, here's the microphone to the karaoke machine. I have my TikTok on live. Let's go. Boom. And then I'm recording the whole thing.
Right.
So I would just like to point out that you have not spent time around drunk Jessica. The number of
what do you call this podcast?
With me. How is he not spending drink time with just? I would not disappoint, Casey.
I
would not disappoint. Look at me take Kyle's beer.
Clothing changes have you had to see out in public? That's her go-to move. That's her signature move.
That I prepare to bring additional clothing for the different stages of the night I'll be in. That's called preparation, Kyle.
I am a professional pack mule, so I will carry that bag and I will help you. No problem.
I knew we were meant to be, Casey. I knew it.
I am there for you. So Kyle, you just wait for some good videos coming out of upstate New York when she has her next.
I'm so excited for that. I am pumped.
So Casey's a dangerous designated driver because it sounds clearly like you're not safe with him.
Why would you not be safe with me?
Because you're putting together blackmail material for people is why you're not safe with you.
Alcohol poisoning.
No.
What are you talking about?
Is like, I don't want to be the only one with memories of the evening. And like, we want to share. Do you remember this? Of course I don't remember last night. Well, let me show you what happened. Isn't this so much fun? Right? We should the sharing thing.
Oh, sharing.
I stand by all my behavior. There is zero shame in my game. Take it or leave it.
And that has been the main problem with you, Jessica. We would love a little bit more shame in your game. I think it would do all of us a little better.
Jessica, I'm with you.
Oh my God.
You might have to extend your trip while you're out here, Jessica.
I feel like I will.
Well, airlines don't let you fly drunk anymore, so yeah, she might have to.
I'm testing that theory, Ryan, through and through. I'll report out on that because I don't feel. This is derailing again, which is my.
Were we on a rail?
We were on a rail.
I don't know. But being drunk on an airplane is kind of a must for me. Like the older I get, the harder it is to be like cramped up. Like maybe you need to make more money so we can fly first class or something. It's just so intense. It's so intense that if I don't have a little extra something, it is bad news bears.
If I get more money, we're going the wrong way. I'm making less money.
I know.
By roughly half.
Okay. But what I'm saying is alcohol for me can take a very stressful situation and like bring out the best in me. There's very few times.
That's not what it brings out.
Oh man, why did I drink during that event? I'm like, thank God I had a little booze with me. Honestly,
I feel like
Kyle,
we're not going to get the endorsement from the
people
so tell me. So Jessica, I have a question. Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's when I drink heavily.
Oh my
and I
gosh.
think it's amazing. And Jessica's all like, "Oh, you were
Oh my
a drunken asshole when my parents were around." I was like,
Which
it was
made
way
me
less
love,
stressful.
which made me love him more. So, even though I have a family that does not drink alcohol, very consistently went to Thanksgiving dinner, never drank. Then met Kyle, met his family who likes to drink quite a bit of alcohol, certainly during Thanksgiving
all
dinner.
the time.
So I remember when we bought our house, we started our family. I hosted Thanksgiving dinner for the very first time. And on the fence, if I have some wine and it's my house, I should, like, oh, how do I manage it? Oh my gosh, I have been so intoxicated every Thanksgiving since. I refuse to go anywhere else but my own home so I can drink whatever I want. And I'm sure it has shed some light for certain family members. Zero regrets. And that's for me, that's what Thanksgiving's about. You work really hard to cook some delicious food. You taste it the next day. You drink so much while you're
throwing up, or what?
No, because you just can't appreciate it when you've drank all day to make it. So leftovers the next day, that's the moment where I'm like, this is real Thanksgiving. This is what the Pilgrims wanted me to experience, and Indians. Like, this is what they had in mind. I'm sure of it. Sorry, that we talk about a derail. There one is.
No, I always appreciate history lessons. We can never forget our past. I'm glad.
Kyle wouldn't even eat turkey. He insists on ham during Thanksgiving. Let's talk about monsters. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Let's not go so far as that I won't eat turkey. I will eat any meat that is at any table. I just prefer, if they're going to say you get ham or turkey, ham is ham. It's always ham. Ham for breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like, ham is a way better meat than turkey overall.
A ham is closer related.
That's why people
to
have ham sandwiches all year round, and no one's like, all right, we have to have a big ham for Thanksgiving because that's the only time we eat it.
Turkey sandwiches is actually a thing too.
Well, yeah, for people that don't have taste buds and old people.
Maybe, I don't know.
Do either of you eat turkey sandwiches?
Strong statement.
You eat them dry, don't you? Just bread, cheese, and turkey. Just...
Oh. Yikes.
All right.
No. I am a lover of mayo on sandwiches. Thank you very much.
Yes. Agreed. Time to intervene.
Yeah,
Ryan.
once mayo on sandwiches comes up, I know it's time to change the subject. That is.
Hold on. Mayo or Miracle Whip?
Oh, we're moving on. Nope.
Yeah, no.
I got to put my foot down
I didn't realize I was dealing with all sorts of bougie people.
No, that's going to get you disbarred from the podcast with a ridiculous question like that. Yeah,
we have standards.
Getting disbarred.
Yes.
Yeah, and I grew up in a family that called Miracle Whip mayonnaise. I'm like, oh, no.
Okay, so
Have you been taking notes about our perfect day?
Yes, I have it all down. Basically, the perfect night out is being drunk enough that you don't remember it unless Casey shows you a video, and hopefully somebody was responsible enough to get you home. And that's the perfect night.
I will drive you home. I will record that video too. I will turn on the radio. We will sing all the way home. Oh, you bet.
Have you ever had the experience when the designated driver is not not the most responsible person in the group that night? That might be a funner night.
Me pregnant?
That is not fun.
I am tired.
Yeah.
Well, Jessica, to be fair, you even pregnant and not drinking, I'm not sure if you're the most responsible person in any particular group.
I mean, sober, non-pregnant, probably not the most responsible, reliable person in your Rolodex.
You can walk by a group of heroin addicts and being like, can any of you drive? Isn't the pregnant lady sober? She is, but can any of you drive?
I've never met a worse driver than myself. Like I am so bad. I'm so bad. It is. I mean, I need one. Like now they have those little like saying like I don't know, like at the airport where they like the words run through them, or like a electronic thing where
Like
they're
an
like,
electronic billboard.
yeah, but they'll be like,
Small one, like a message.
yes, right on the back of cars.
It just says, "I'm sorry, it's my bad. Didn't mean to cut you off."
Yes, but what would happen? I'd be like trying to program that while I'm driving, like, oops, and then like really fuck shit up. But I've thought about that. I was like, I need one of those, like, oops, I'm sorry, on just the back of my car. Like, I suck.
Yeah, the self-awareness is really good though. I mean, I have a 5-year-old niece, and she is also that self-aware. Like her mom owns some businesses, and sometimes she's talking about official things, and she's like, "Listen, kids, what you hear in the car, you have to you can't like go talking about whatever." And her little 5-year-old daughter's just like, "Can you just wait until I'm out of the car, Mom? Can you just wait?" Like, because she cannot keep a secret for the life of her, and she knows this, and she's like, "No, I just want to go, Mom." Like, I love it. Like that is my girl right there.
If I shouldn't know, then don't say it in front of me. That's great.
She knows her limits.
So I once had a telephone conference with a magistrate judge and opposing counsel on a case, and just before the meeting, well, a little bit before the meeting, my oldest kid, we get a call from the daycare that the oldest kid is sick. And so it's a telephone conference, so I could do it from anywhere. So I'm like, all right, I'll go pick him up, make an appointment at the doctor's office, take him to the doctor's office. I'm waiting in the room, and I'm like, okay, the timing of this might work out where if I'm in the waiting room of the doctor's office, I could do this thing. How long is it going to really take? And opposing counsel, if I remember correctly, was from New York City, and they tend to sometimes be verbose when they talk, and they tend to not let up. And so what I thought was going to be maybe a 5-10 minute check-in telephone conference was now dragging on and on and on. And I'm sitting in the waiting room, and all of a sudden we get called into the doctor. And so, and my kid is small, and so it's like I can't really leave him, but I can be away. So I'm like, okay, well, we're coming in. I'm like muting it. We go in and everything. Well, enough stuff is happening that the magistrate judge goes, "Where are you at, Mr. Hatch?" I go, "I'm so sorry. My kid is sick, and I didn't want to skip the conference, but I want to." And this opposing counsel had been been laying into not just my client, but also myself about some different things. And I was just like, oh man, this is going to be really bad. But the magistrate judge was like, "You're at the doctor's office? What's wrong? Is your kid okay?" And just like total tone change on the whole thing. And was just like so concerned about my kid. I'm like, "No, it's really big deal. I'm sorry. This is kind of unprofessional. I wouldn't do it." No, that's fine. I'm glad, if I'd known, we could have ended this. We could have rescheduled. I mean, I could do it, but it was last minute. Like, that's fine. And you could just hear the air going out of opposing counsel. Like, they're not going to make the dad trying to fit in his kid going to the doctor look like an a-hole in front of the magistrate judge. It wasn't going to happen.
Like you planned it.
The opposing counsel all of a sudden also be like, "Oh, I'm also at the doctor's.
That's right.
I have twins. My twins are sick. They're about to go into surgery."
Yeah.
All three of us are in dialysis together.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's like the Johnny Depp. The first time I ever heard about that was the Johnny Depp trial, where dude was video vaping in his car while he was driving. He did a deposition in his car while vaping. Non-stop. And driving.
Probably the only thing that could make a deposition interesting.
Oh my, yeah. if there's
I'm not
any,
sure if it had the same effect
Yeah.
as your situation.
if there's any excitement during a deposition, something's gone horribly wrong for one of the sides.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. If it's not mind numbing, you're doing it wrong.
Well,
As opposed to a good night out. How about that segment?
there. Oh,
Yeah.
how about that?
Right.
Well, I
Also,
was going
just as that best night out. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
If you guys like,
I'm just here running the
D&D.
podcast. I am doing like 5 different things.
Just keep
I'm just-
interrupting people.
I'm really just here for you, Kyle. So whatever you want to say, just go ahead. Please don't let me interrupt.
This was
I
your
would not-
trial
No,
run.
I would like
just
to hear
so
what
you
your
know.
perfect night
This is
out
that.
is.
My kid is in the hospital right now. Okay.
Is it the one right
Planes-
behind you?
Yes. I shut that door too hard the first time, and now he's.
You're not going to a D&D thing, right? That's okay. Go ahead.
No, that's right. Dungeons and Dragons. Playing Dungeons and Dragons when the players or the DM is slightly intoxicated, not so drunk that they can't function, is really fun.
Okay.
That I've done that a couple times. That is, and just playing board games in general as a night out,
Well,
intoxicated with your friends, is incredibly fun.
I hope that's something more than just the 3 of us can put in our back pocket and save for later. Because the next time I'm putting together a D&D squad, I'll definitely know.
You should. It's amazing.
When was the last time you put together a D&D squad?
Yeah. I mean,
Who? Me or her?
Her.
Her?
Kyle, with that
Her
haircut,
D&D
I believe you put together a
the fact that
D&D
you
squad
think I
lately.
could put that together is actually a compliment, so I'll take it.
Double Dribble? You know, an old school Nintendo party? Maybe
No.
some Tecmo Ball, some Double Dribble.
Right.
Not talking my language.
All right, Kate. Well, okay, we know what Dungeons and Dragons for Kyle. Jessica in a drunken mess. Kyle, Casey, what's your perfect night out? Other than mood lighting with good-looking people.
Well,
Are you just describing the last
Well,
time you had a night out with me?
yes. Yes. No, I think so. For me, a good night out, number one, you have to be with good company, because then I don't care where you are, what you're doing. If you have good company, you can make that work, and that's fun. That failing that, then or ideally you can have both, like good food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because then that's also very enjoyable. If you have like mediocre company, if the food's good, that can kind of save it. But that's sort of the big one, like, because that's the whole, for me, that's the point of going out, is to be with people that you enjoy being with. So I'm like, if you have good company, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You can watch a Tom Cruise movie and still have a good time.
Right. So Casey and I recently did have dinner together with a group of people, and that was pretty much a perfect night out. We had good food, good drinks, good company.
Yep.
Plenty of time to enjoy all of it. That's a good time.
I feel like the amount of effort prior to the night out can be a lot, but if it's a great night out and it makes it all worth it, that's a good indicator. But the best nights out for me that are just the ones that take zero effort, that come together very easily, that like you're picking the time, the place. Like if there's ever any components of like finding parking and you have tickets and there's like any of that stuff always makes it more complicated and difficult for me. So for me, like the best nights out I've had are the ones that have really kind of come together spontaneously.
So are you dancing at these? You're going out to dinner? What's happening at your night out?
Always. Ryan, I'm an excellent dancer. Kyle, I really am.
She's Elaine.
I'm okay, confident. I'm a confident dancer.
That I
Better
believe.
thing for us all to digest. But I feel great about it at the end of the night. We're talking about me feeling like I had a great night, not everybody else, right?
Correct.
So for me, those are the best nights when they come together and there hasn't been this like huge buildup or lots of planning or effort into them, but they just naturally come together are heaven.
You really should move out here, Jessica, because
I know.
every month I host a book club and there's zero effort on your part. I tell people, you don't have to RSVP. You don't have to bring anything. You don't even have to read the book. You show up to my house. I always make dinner. We always talk about the books or whatever. We talk about anything else and everything else too. But
still invite
zero.
me. I'll fly out.
All right. I'll send you the invite. I'm putting you on the invite.
What book are you reading this month or this however long?
So this month is our nonfiction month, and we're reading The Empire of Pain about the Sackler family. So
about the what?
Sackler family, the ones who invented the opioid, blah blah blah. Fascinating. You're like, whoa. But anyway, so kind of a dun 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 type thing. But yeah, we'll get together and bitch about it and have a good dinner and choose the next 4 books, and then that's it.
I did book clubs. They called it the non-book club for me because I never read the books, but I definitely came to learn about them.
I have people who come and don't read the book ever, but sometimes they'll come and we'll listen to people talking until they decide if they want to read the book. But yeah, we don't care if people read the book. We're always going to talk about it. So like no one can show up and be like, oh, I haven't read it yet, so we can't talk about it. And like, no, we're talking. But if we don't like the book, we talk about the book for like 5 minutes. Like, yeah, that was a shitty book. Yep. All right, what's going on? And then we talk about everything else.
Now, did you say you picked the next 4 books? So you read 4 books every month?
No. So it's only 3 times a year we get together and we pick the next 2 fiction and nonfiction books. We set the next 4 dates. So then when I send the email out to everybody, it's like, here's the next books and dates, and it has a calendar invite. So you can just say yes, and it goes on your calendar. It's
3 times a year, you're making it way more realistic. I can't believe I'm flying out to Syracuse, Ryan, and you'll be in Colorado.
Right.
Like, what's the irony in that? Like, I'm so excited to see you, Casey, and the conference I'm going to is hands down worth
Ryan
it.
planned it that way.
No, he didn't. No, he did not. Don't let him be so mean to me, Ryan.
Oh, stop being mean to her, Kyle.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Thank you for that.
Done, Jessica. Done. Maybe a little kindness goes a long way.
I will say I try to host. If I'm hosting anything, it typically is for work. And I'm the boss, so I'm trying to like create an easy event and make it a great night out, like with retreats or just get-togethers. And that is probably one of the biggest challenges I personally face. Because I'm so focused on making it such a great night for everyone else. So that's usually when I do say super sober, because I can't trust drunk Jessica, which is probably all they actually want is to see my confident dancing. And
I've changed my perfect, and it's actually a perfect day.
Okay.
And it happens every year, and it is slightly tied into
March
D&D.
Madness.
Nope, not March Madness. That's Kevin's thing. Okay. On Labor Day, the Sunday before Labor Day, I host 2 back-to-back fantasy football drafts at my house. And the first one starts at like 10, and people don't leave the house until double question mark. Like, it is an all-day event of drinking, and people bring over food, and it's like Dungeons and Dragons for
I take the boys
sports.
out
It's
of the
amazing.
house.
Yeah.
So
the kids are gone, so that is
your special day.
That is my special day. That is so much fun. It is a group of people that we've been in fantasy leagues for, I think both of them have been going on for 7 or 8 years now, and it's been the same day every year. It's a lot of fun. Like,
can we call that Happy Father's Day?
No, because that happens. We can call it Happy Sunday before Labor Day. But it's so much fun, and it encompasses everything of like, I have friends over. We have a break in the middle where we get to barbecue food and we have really good food, and
people can stay at the house. Like nobody.
yeah,
like,
no one
needs
has to
feel
drive home.
pressure to
We
leave.
have
Yeah.
after the draft, we talk and bullshit about whatever we want. Like that is just a group of people that I enjoy being around. That's the most fun.
outside of your life.
Eat company, food. Told you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you're there by the end of the night. You don't spend the night at someone else's house.
No, not when I'm taking the boys out.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
gone up to the cabin
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But you're right. It is. It's company and food.
Yeah.
Like if you have to boil it down to anything in every scenario, it's company and food.
Which speaks a lot because you don't want me there and you're not there for mine. Ugh.
But I also feel like we're each other's DD.
Yeah.
Right. So like if I'm gonna go out for a great night, I rather know that Kyle like is
A
not
phone
out.
call away.
Yeah, and is like my safety net and vice versa. Right. Especially with kids.
So, what is the one thing that somebody can do to ruin a perfect night out or day?
Ooh. I instantly went to drama, but sometimes drama's
Sometimes you're the drama.
No, yeah, sometimes drama's great. Oh, the one thing they can do, call the cops. I don't know.
Not even that. That
Not
could be
even
fun.
that. Like I feel like I could talk the cops down.
It's
So-
drama outside of the thing you're doing. Like when we do our like fantasy drafts, or if we have people over and there's like some drama going on that was like created in the moment in that time, like that can be fun. But if like someone from outside like comes in and is like, here's some news, or like I'm doing something like
Your wife has died.
Jessica's watching the kids and the kids get hurt, or I'm watching the kids and the
Yeah.
kids get sick, or something like that that like pulls you away from
It's a
the
killjoy.
moment. Yeah.
It's a killjoy. But outside of that, I'm trying to think.
So my mind immediately went to the person who needs too much assistance.
Attention.
Attention is probably the better word. Like there's
That's you, Jessica.
a lot of
Yeah.
times there's somebody in that group who just can't do anything without announcing it to everybody or having everybody participate. Like everybody's there to help them have a good night.
I've never run into that issue, so I don't know what you're talking about. That's a new
Ooh,
thing.
dear. Oh dear.
It's very true. I can't stand those hoes either.
Because they get in your way of having a good time.
Just 'cause
Because
attention-
they don't know their place.
Yeah.
Those hoes are there to help you have a good time. And if they don't know their place, then they just need to get in line. I understand.
Thank you. Thank you. Please have one person who has my back in this podcast.
How about you, Casey? What is it?
That ruins a good night out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the company or the food.
Right.
Bad company or
Shitty
bad
food or
food?
shitty company.
Yeah, right. Like, because like a person like that ruins the company, right? Then you're like, oh my gosh, it turns into a management situation. Or if the food is terrible, that you're like, oh, I'm gonna need to stop at Burger King after this,
Yes.
just to kind of take the edge off. Then it's not as fun. But as far as anything else, I don't know. I mean, that's really it. Like those are the two simple things that really make the night out. So if you take away from those things, that'll ruin it. But other than that, and that's not too bad, because for me, I've learned if it gets bad, you just go. You just
Right.
leave.
Right.
Just go home. Like when I was younger, you always feel that social pressure. Oh, you got to stay and do all that kind of stuff. Oh, no. Now it's like, no. How soon can I make my exit?
Right. Right.
Yeah, there was a point when you're younger where you're like, this you may not have, like, I remember not having like a lot of disposable income. So I'm like, if I'm going to spend some money on a night out, I better get my money's worth out of it.
Right.
and I'm not going to bail on it early. Right. And now I'm like, Oh, screw it.
Right.
I'll
My
pay.
time
I'll
is worth
pay
more
money
than
not
this.
to be here if it's a bad night.
Right.
For me, if it's at a house, it could be their pets. Like if I have a dog that can't stop sniffing my crotch, fuck this dog, fuck this party, I'm out.
A lot of fault
Sorry.
going to the dog.
I'm
A lot
sorry.
of fault going to the dog on that one.
This late into the podcast, I let that. I apologize. It shouldn't happen. If I'm at a restaurant, it's poor service. Like if we just have a shitty waiter that just doesn't get how funny I am.
Oh, okay.
All right.
We're in a restaurant and the other people in my party are that person. We were actually just at a bar grill type place, and one of the people in our group was just off-puttingly rude to the wait staff.
I can't stand
And
that.
that ruins
Everything.
it too.
Yep. Yes.
Because then you're embarrassed.
Yeah, like one of those people that thinks like they're better than, or like
Yeah.
you're like, are you snapping another human being? Why are you sitting at a table?
They're
Who do
gonna
you
spit
think
in our
you
food.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes.
All right,
Agreed.
folks. It's getting towards the end of the time where we were shooting for. So unless you have anything else,
What was the other topic?
it doesn't matter.
Just make this a double podcast, Ryan.
I'm sure we've covered it.
I was just wondering if that could be like the outro, but like that's your final one thing.
Oh,
Drop
it
the
is.
mic and we're done.
What's one must thing that you need to do during the summer?
Grill. My thing is grill. Like during the summer, and I've done it the past 3 or 4 days.
Mhm.
I like to say I upped my game. Recently, I got a sous vide. So I sous vide my meat first, but then throw it on the grill to finish it off. And it is unreal. But that is summer to me. Like that is outside. I'll have a beer out there and it's sunny and kids jumping on the trampoline and grilling and drinking a beer.
Nice. Jessica?
Laying out at least once in the sun, even with full sunscreen on. You got to lay out in the sun.
Casey?
Mine is simpler than Kyle's. It's just eat outside. Like that doesn't matter. I mean, because I like to slow smoke things rather than grill it, but that's just a tiny distinction. But really, just eating outside, just sitting outside and eating outside when you can just kind of sit out. That's a big summer thing. I mean, yes, I live in upstate New York, so actually being able to be outside at all is like because it's like 9 months of the year you're staying inside, right?
Some of the best weather in the country in the summer is in upstate New York.
That is absolutely true.
Absolutely.
I do believe that. It's not Colorado.
No. So I was going to say you must find the best dipped ice cream cone in your particular area. Like
Full circle.
if you do not know where to get the best dipped ice cream cone in your area, you're living life wrong. Also,
dipped ice cream cone, like some like
Dairy Queen.
Yeah,
like
Dairy Queen garbage.
Oh, Kyle, did you not listen to a previous podcast? I think that disqualifies him from participating from here on out, Ryan.
I'm trying to think of good ice cream that is dipped.
Dairy Queen.
Sometimes it's
Dairy
a challenge.
Queen's ice cream is not good ice cream.
Sometimes, Kyle, sometimes it's a
challenge. That's okay. I think there is good dipped ice cream, but Kyle, what you can do, you can also come out here, maybe a separate time than Jessica, and there's a place called Abbott's that does frozen custard. Super good. And the best thing is you get the chocolate frozen custard and you say, can you underfill my cup a little bit? Because I want the top ½ inch just melted peanut butter. And they have peanut butter sauce. So it's not dipped. But if you put the peanut butter on top, every spoonful becomes chocolate dipped, covered in peanut butter as you eat it out.
That's like I'm not opposed to that, but like we have just down the street from us, like a fresh made every single day ice cream place.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you're not going to dip that like delicious, amazing ice cream in
It's
like hard
custard.
chocolate.
Hard
But
dip.
it's custard.
No,
too.
that's
It's
Andy's. I'm talking about Inside Scoop, which is like
Oh.
old school ice cream. They make all sorts of crazy flavors. It is big scoops. I mean, like it's like old school ice cream, but you don't dip that. You just
Well,
taste the delicious ice cream.
I think Kyle is missing the point here. I think he's talking without thinking right now. He doesn't.
That's my.
He
that's
does
my
not
strong suit, guys. I'm a
understand
teacher.
what a great dipped ice cream cone can do for your life.
I agree, right?
I'm not talking about like good ice cream is something different, Kyle.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So bad ice cream dipped in good chocolate is what you're going
No.
for?
Oh my gosh, why
Kyle.
are you so challenging?
Well, it has been great having Kyle on the podcast.
Yeah. Farewell, Kyle. We
Kyle, I
enjoyed
love the
our
haircut.
participation.
Best wishes to you and
Change
yours.
this name back to
I
what it
hope
should
that
be.
you best wishes in the
Jessica, love.
future.
Just
Can't wait for your
Jessica.
D&D podcast. It's going to be awesome.
Joining the Hellfire Club, guys.
If you'd like us to have a guest spot, please email us.
Hey,
and
if
our
you're ever
people
in
will get back
town,
to your
just drop
people.
me a line.
I love you guys.
Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.